Yeah, we should be. They should be able to hear us, man. I hope you guys know that I have a freaking devil of a time getting this stuff to work every time we go live in this room. So, what is going on? Welcome to the show. It's about 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central for you, Bleeves. Welcome to the show. It's 4 p.m., baby. Let's get it.
Man, it's bear down time, baby.
Dude,
it's bear down time.
Yeah, I love that that we have that in common, dude, because it doesn't matter where I live in this country. I've lived all over this country, and I got bears in my blood, literally. Yeah. And it's just doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter how bad they are. There's always next year. It's like it was the Cubs for a while, man, and then finally we got the dub. Finally got the world championship in 2015, and I can die peaceful. I could die a happy man knowing that the Cubbies got a World Series in my lifetime.
I'll tell you something that was the same thing. My wife's her dad, lifelong Cubs fan, and in 2016, in Game 7, we were winning, and we ended up driving over to his house so that we could celebrate with him. So that because I mean, how many people were just living their life waiting for that day, waiting for that moment? I mean, think about all the people around here that just, like, you got these old biddies here that just won't go, but they won't pass away. Not that I want people to pass away, but they just won't. They're just waiting for that moment. And then Kyle Hendricks and Chris Bryant and Rizzo and Schwarber and all of these guys come together and bring it home finally.
Dude, I got what was it? His nickname is Schwarber, Baby Bam Bam. That was his nickname, right?
Yeah, Schwarbs, yeah.
So that was the jersey I got. Number 12, I think, was his jersey number.
Yeah, he's the one that put the ball up into the all the way up onto the top of Wrigley.
Yeah, basically out into Evanston, he blasted that thing.
Yeah.
Super excited to have you chat with me here on the show today. And everybody, thank you for being here. Go ahead and smash the like. Number one thing you guys can do to help us. New set, new this, who dis. I'm taking over Ben's live stream spot. He doesn't need it. I built it. Why the fuck not? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I took the Crossfire song, the 4 p.m. Crossfire time. We're taking it all, man. It's
okay. Well, you know what? Now that we're doing this, I hope Ben is watching, because that was a mistake. Crypto Crossfire was the best show in all of crypto.
Hey,
and no offense to no offense to Nick, who's going to owe me an ETH pretty goddamn soon. Yeah. But there was that was the best show on all of YouTube for cryptocurrency. Trading Wars is great, but there was no comparison to that.
Hey, wait, maybe we could we'll do one day a week at this 4 p.m. time zone. Maybe Fridays. It'd be like a Friday debate day.
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah, why not? We'll figure something out. I love it. I love the idea because listen, if people, I had a good time hosting it, and I know that hearing the drama, and it's maybe sometimes it got a little carried away, whatever. Who gives a shit? Like, it was still thought-provoking, and I think people love that and kind of crave that, right? Because there's difference of opinions. It was really exciting. It was a good show.
Plus, it was an easy way for me to collect W's and for Nick to collect L's. You know what I mean? So,
and hey, I can tell you unequivocally, there is no one on this planet that is undefeated at Crypto Crossfire except for myself. 1-0, baby. 1-0.
Nice.
Again, I got the champ, man. I'm gonna get the belt somewhere. We're gonna get into a couple articles here. A couple things going on throughout the crypto space today. There was, some SEC news with Ethereum, and what was the name of the? Here we go. Prometheum. The only U.S. registered crypto platform picks Ethereum as its first product. An SEC compliant custody issue. There's some other things that are going on with the dealer rule. I want to get into that. We can talk about that, Bleeves. And then I really think that, like, the narrative around Ethereum has changed almost like a 180 immediately. I still think it's bullshit. I was just swapped something. I finally got some Beam just a little bit ago. And I think it was like $500. It was like $420 worth of Beam. And it cost like $38, I think, total with fees to get that thing swapped over. That's just ludicrous. That's ludicrous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And not the rapper that Justin Bieber made famous either. People hate when I say that, by the way. They absolutely hate when I say that Justin Bieber made Ludacris famous with that stupid Baby song.
Baby, baby, baby.
By the way, did you get Monero yesterday on that big dip? It was down
I
34%.
screwed up. We talked about it on my show. We were just like, listen, if you guys got the stones to go in and buy some Monero, it's probably going to come back. I honestly didn't even think about it until today when I was looking to prep for the show this afternoon and noticed that it was like, 30% up. I was like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. Here's the other thing. I think I told you in your chat yesterday, the same thing happened with Zcash, because that announcement started with Monero, Zcash, and there were about 4 others that were gonna be delisted. And Binance was kind of kicking the tires on getting rid of all of these because they were privacy based. And in order for Binance or somebody like that to be in compliance with all of these crazy laws and regulations that seem to come around, where every one of these governments, they need to know everything you're doing. In order to do that, that's what they have to do. They're going to have to delist all of these privacy-based cryptocurrencies, and Zcash was among them, and it just kept dipping and dipping, and I was buying the dip and buying. Eventually got liquidated on it because I went long, and I just kept buying a little bit as it dipped and dipped and dipped, just to prevent myself from getting liquidated. And then at that point, I was up to like, and it really wasn't a much. It was like $150, but I was at $150. But you know what? I'll just take my loss. Fuck this. So I did. And I got stopped out. The moment I got stopped out, this sumbitch reversed and was at $24. And like if I would have DCA'd one more time, that would have been the move. And
crypto is like, there's that meme, right? It's the 2 diamond miner guys. You got the one who's real far away, who turned away, or the guy who turns away like right at the edge.
Yep.
And man, I feel like that is literally the living crypto experience for most of us. The same thing with you hang on to something. Everybody's getting so fed up with XRP. It's not moving. Gosh darn it, everything's like moving, and this is just a crazy stable coin. At some point, we are all going to capitulate, and that's when it's going to rip. That's when it's going to happen.
When everybody's feeling that way, isn't that the buy signal? I mean, that's the day to DCA.
100%.
So I made a rhyme there, by the way. I
like that, man. Hit the beat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's the day to DCA.
The DCA
Hell
run.
yeah.
You could do it.
But that's crazy, right? Like that's crazy. Like when you see all this kind of stuff and you see the narrative. By the way, for anybody who's watching here that is wondering about, like alpha for crypto, when you see it in the news, it's too late.
Yeah.
So when you start seeing all these things, like, you should know that something is 3 weeks ago, there was some talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is ready for a run, and I've been talking about it for a while because I saw the same thing. It's gonna run to like $3,000. Like I can see it on the charts. I can see it in the sentiment. I can see Denkun is just hit Holsky today. So I see all these pieces that are going into place, and I see how this narrative is about to change, and that Ethereum is ready to take off. Even though I don't think that the whole blob sharding, I don't think that that's going to help too much on layer 1. It helps layer 2, but that's enough for some kind of run. Then you have the Ethereum ETF, and even if you have it going back until May, the fact that it's there, that's the FOMO build, right? So Ethereum is getting ready to really, really rip. And I started talking about it 3 weeks ago, and it was trading like 2,200. And now here we are. Like I just stopped out my long on it because I was like, you know what, this is hot enough for me. I think Bitcoin is at 44.1. It's about to pop 44.2. Like I felt like 44 was going to be kind of the top of it. So I think I cashed out at 24.33 on Bitcoin, on Ethereum.
Nice, man. Bitcoin's going on a run. I think in the last little bit too. What do you think? When I was when you were talking about that, I was starting to think about kind of thinking about some of these strategies, and anyway, the thought totally escaped me, and I was trying to claw back for it, but I just couldn't figure it out. You know how that goes.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's hop into some news here then. I hate when the mind goes like that, man, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring up this first one. I figured this is the first one to talk about, because people always talk about it in crypto, like how can we make some money? How can you make some cheap money in crypto? SocialFi, next big one. Friendzone set to launch on Polygon. I would absolutely, positively, without a doubt, tell everybody, go and just get on there as soon as possible and start doing it. And even if it doesn't fucking work, that's fine. Let's take the arena, Stars Arena, for example. When Stars Arena launched, I got on there. I was real active. I made, I think, probably 30 Avalanche. It's what, like $1,000 right now. And it's going to continue to go up as the bull market goes, right? So just even if it's a beta test for you to go check something out and try to play in the ecosystem and see what you can do, because it's, I mean, that's the whole point of SocialFi, is to make sure that there's that, financial integration into it. So there's a coin, something, right?
Yep.
So I mean, get in there. I just love the name
Absolutely.
of it, Friendzone, though.
I know. Isn't that hilarious how
Nobody
they
wants
come
to
up
be
with, like,
Friendzone.
sometimes you just come up with something that you just like, the friends. Oh my God, I've got to see at least what this is. And like Star Arena, I can't tell you how long I was on the phone with Ben and Cassie one night. We were trying to figure out like how much money. So we were sending each other Avalanche so that we were sending AVAX tokens back and forth to see how much do I get when that happens? How much do you get when that happens? How much, you know what I mean? And as you build your cred, like it changes and stuff like that. And what you can cash out was becoming different. So, but each one of these things has an opportunity for you to net some yield on it. And I think Friend Tech and Friendzone, all of these things are probably, I mean, they are the future, obviously. At some point, all of these, Facebook has to decline, Twitter has to decline,
Yeah.
everything has a rise and a fall, or the feeling out period. And
You
once you get thrown in the friend zone, it's gonna be hilarious.
What do you think, to ask you a question about that? What do you think about X kind of, maybe that was Elon's strategies? Twitter had a shelf life. It had an expiration date. So that's why he cut that off. We named it X. It's a little bit more streamlined, way more futuristic. We're going to integrate the payments into there. Do you think that basically when, I mean, for lack of a better term, Twitter died, X became born, and he just inherited a huge user base with something fresh-ish?
Yeah, I don't think that Elon sees, he doesn't see it the same way we see it. He sees a communication mechanism that allows people to communicate, but why not turn that into a place where people can transact?
Yeah.
And why not create a marketplace? Because it's clunky, but Facebook has a marketplace. Instagram, I think, has a marketplace. All these different places find different ways to monetize you, and Twitter doesn't. Twitter just relies on ad revenue. It's a non-sustainable method
Right.
by which you operate. And he saw that, and he thought, I don't think that the Twitter piece, the Twitter piece for him was, and I think he's wrong about free speech. I don't think that free speech is under duress or stress or anything like that. I think that that's just a clever foil, and I think that he wants to attract. I mean, look, a lot of people felt that way because of Twitter, but Twitter's not your free speech. Twitter is your amplifier for your free speech. You're able to walk outside like you were intended to do, and you can still go complain to the government. You can still go complain to somebody. You can still say you don't like something to the same people you could do it with before, with no harm, no repercussion. Your freedom of speech is not impinged upon. It's the Twitter is just a bullhorn to amplify it, or it's whatever whoever's in charge lets it be. If it's a publicly traded company, the publicly traded company says we're a bullhorn, we're a bullhorn. If Elon says it's free speech, then it's free speech. It's it's whatever you want it to be. And what he wanted it to be was a place where people could just come like a town square and talk about all these things. But he's not really as much of a troll as a lot of people are. He likes funny stuff, but people are mean, and he doesn't, I think he misses some of that. And like, for example, I don't care what you vote for, you know what I mean? But there's a person out here called Laura Loomer.
Yeah.
This woman was lying about this thing called the Rainbow Bridge a couple months ago. Back in November, a car crashed into the Rainbow Bridge between the United States and Canada, and she was calling for the shutdown because it was a military attack. And Benny Johnson, where they're calling for the shutting down of all of this stuff, right? These are people who are paid monthly by Elon Musk. So they're, in essence, because of this raw system, he's just paying people to lie to other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not sustainable. There has to be some kind of, there has to be some way to kind of compromise and fix it. And by the way, I think that the way that he does that is because he's thinking outside the box. It will become that monetization thing. People will just stop. People stop engaging. And to be fair, like, I think the system is broken, by the way, because what we're listening to is thought bubbles. My thought bubble is not your thought bubble. Your thought bubble is not Ellie's thought bubble, which is not Mike's thought bubble, which is not Davenport's thought bubble. We all have a slightly different bubble, and some of us don't even interact with one another in a place where we're all there. So it's a broken system that needs repair in some way.
Yeah.
But when he starts to monetize, and when he starts to, allow you to create value for what you do and give it and present it to people, then I think everything really will change. I think he's really ahead of the game. And despite that, I have problems with some of his opinion about what some of these things are. I think he's really, really at the forefront of technology and bringing opportunity and stuff like that to the masses that, otherwise wouldn't see it.
I love that. That was a great answer to my question. And it's funny, you were talking about the Rainbow Bridge there, and I don't know about you guys. Like, when I heard that, all I can think of, I just know the Rainbow Bridge is when your pet passes across the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. It's a funny name. It was a funny name for the bridge that connects Canada and the United States. And these dudes, I mean, look, these people went Dukes of Hazzard. You know what I mean? Like, you had some people that just went Dukes of Hazzard. Were trying to speed to get away from the police and went flying through the air. Well, there was this big lie that if that happened, it must have been because of a terrorist attack and stuff like that. And these people were just trending it out like it was real. And like, that's like, you can't reward, like, how do you justify, if you're Elon, broadly, how do you justify individually that behavior? And the thing is, he can't do anything about it.
No.
He created a system, he created a procedure in place, and it allows for, again, it's that bubble, that bubble thing is broken. And until he fixes that, then we're not really in a town square. We just pretend we're in a town square. We're in a thought bubble that each of us have.
Are you monetized on Twitter?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You know what? I that to me. So once that happens, right? That would be obviously, like you were talking about. That's ad revenue. That's different than say, like, the monetization aspect that they're trying to put in. Where now, I think he's received the payment license in like 30 some of the states here at this point, somewhere around there. So that money transmitter licenses, right? So that you could, here in the States at least, we can tip content creators, or who knows what the full integration is going to be. That obviously will change the game for X the moment that happens. And I freaking hope that it happens like now, like very soon.
I think no matter what we do right now, we're probably underselling, because Elon said everything, and everything means everything. So I don't think that there's any boundary that he's saying, well, no, we're not going further than this. Like, he wants to integrate fiat. He wants to integrate crypto. You can buy, you can sell, you can do whatever it is that you want to do on the Everything app, because it does everything. Imagine.
What do you think, real quick, before we go too far, because I love this conversation. Do you think it's going to be a proprietary payment system, or do you think he's going to do like a Dogecoin, or is it going to be like an X coin? Where do you think that the actual payment currency is going to come from?
I think that there's going to be one very, very, very lucky blockchain.
Man,
I think there's going to be one, and I don't know which one it is. I mean, logically, you would say XRP. You can't use Solana at this point. It can't do it. Avalanche, too expensive. Ethereum's too expensive. It's not reasonable to expect those things. Bitcoin is too slow. Lightning is too slow. I mean, basically it's XRP, right?
Right.
So if there is one, most probably it's going to be HBAR. It's going to be XRP. There are a few of them that are potential. DogeChain's not part of Doge, so I don't see that as a viable option, even though somebody is out here saying it. Kadena is a possibility. There's a lot of them. But one of them.
You think like faster, like a Polygon, right? Faster, cheaper Ethereum.
Yep.
A layer 2.
that's where the money's going to, that's probably where the money's going to transact. And until then, by the way,
because from what I understand, when we were talking to some people about gaming, and from what I believe, the integration of Grand Theft Auto 6, when that does happen, it was 2025, I believe, it should be via the Polygon blockchain.
I made a video on that like 2 years ago.
Did you?
Yeah, it was a rumor at the time that there was going to be cryptocurrency inside GTA. I was just getting started, but it was like there was going to be one in GTA 6, so I made a video about it. And then right after that, they said, well, the cryptocurrency is going to be in name only. It's not really going to be cryptocurrency. It's just going to be like inside the game. And now they're rethinking that again.
Yeah.
That, maybe that should be the way that, all you got to do. Look, there's a lot of ways that later on you can just attach blockchains and technology into stuff. So I think that we're probably going to see that happen. But man, I'm super excited. And by the way, everything app might include gaming as well.
Really? Well, like
consider this
with like the ability to streaming, or like them actually launching like a game studio where you could play games in this app.
Consider where you're streaming and consider what Elon's long-term goals would or should be, considering what he does. Number one, Facebook. You want to take on Facebook because Facebook doesn't represent what he finds to be freedom, right? Exactly. He wants to crush them. He also wants to take advantage of like TikTok and Snapchat with your short-term content, also your longer-term content like YouTube. He's motivating Mr. Beast to come onto the platform. He's motivating TikTokers and Snapchatters and YouTubers, and anybody who wants to monetize. He's motivating you, come onto this platform and let's see what we can do. Well, the platforms that are competitors. Who are your competitors? Facebook, when it comes to that, Steam, Epic Launcher, those are your platforms for video games. Now, can you integrate video games into this platform? And again, you don't have to have, you're not hosting the video games.
Like Twitch, you become a streaming platform like Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, like all of this stuff, like I think that's what he's doing. I think he's going to implement, play video. He plays video games. He streams video games.
Does he?
Like, it's a fucking 50-year-old. This is a 50-year-old nerd with billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like he's out here playing Call of Duty and Fortnite and shit like that and streaming it. And yeah, if you follow Elon, that's what he does. He's an absolute nerd. So he's going to do all the kind of nerd stuff that we would do. Like he's going to make video games. You're going to be able to chat. You're going to be able to buy stuff. You're going to be able to do all of the stuff that you've ever wanted to. You want wrestling, you want to watch some WWE, stream it on the Everything app. You want to watch a movie, stream it on the Everything app. You know what I mean? Like you want to create an opportunity for like a new Netflix. Well, let's buy Netflix. I mean, let's just buy Netflix and add it to the Everything app. Those are the kind of things that are going to happen. Those are the kind of things that Elon will do.
And he has it, right? People would want to attach themselves onto that ecosystem and just be, basically you've got the world at your fingertips. Imagine when your sales reach or your exposure reach goes, exponentially higher than what it was, the day before when you get integrated into that.
Crazy what opportunities there are. And, here's the thing. He brought up, he created PayPal. He made $1.1 billion. He made $1 billion on it. Then he threw $1 billion to make Tesla. Now he has 156 billion. What the fuck is he gonna do next? Do you know what I'm saying? Like he goes from
you getting a Neuralink
radical thing to radical thing to radical thing, and here we are one more time. I mean, Optimus, that's out of control.
Yeah. Are you gonna get a Neuralink?
I know. I don't think that there's any way that
AJ said he would. AJ's like, sign me up. AJ wants to go like immediately as soon as possible get the Neuralink.
AJ's young enough that he still understands that everything's gonna be super cool if you let the government just do whatever. You know what I mean? Like there are, as we and there's possibility we could be fine. I don't have a bunker like Nick. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't, I'm not out there telling you that it's all going to fall
Wait,
apart.
he
But
has a bunker?
oh shit. Hey, Nick, I didn't mean any of that if people weren't supposed to know. But yeah, fuck yeah, he's got a bunker, man. Dude, why do you think he wears a flak jacket?
I thought it was
He
just the thing for their show because of their
him and his neighborhood. They're ready.
I know that he was like I know that he was like there's degrees to this. There's preppers, there's people who um prepare for the apocalypse of the
He's a
zombie.
prepper. He's a prepper. They are ready to go at a moment's notice. They are they're ready to go. You know what I mean? So but I think that I just think AJ doesn't understand like how much control. At some point, when I was a kid and I was in, I think it was sixth grade. I had this guy's name was Kenneth Dennis. He was my teacher. Love this guy. It was just a history, geography, social studies kind of teacher, right? But this guy started teaching me all about the Roman Empire. And I'm going to tell you what, I sat there in my sixth grade class, which was many, many years ago, by the way. And you know what all I could see was, number one, that according to me as a kid, California was about to fall off the map. And, by 1997 or 2007 and something, there was just going to no longer be a California. That didn't happen. But the other thing was, every time he talked about the Roman Empire and every time he brought up all this stuff, I was like, that's happening here and now.
Oh, like the sexual perversion shit.
Well,
that was like the fall. That would like ultimately be like led to the fall of the Roman Empire.
But also we fed everybody to the lions, and we had them die in gladiatorial combat, right? And look, we're steps away. We are steps away. I mean, like, and here's the thing: it's not evil. None of that was evil or malicious. People did that by choice. Some of them were slaves because we did have that. That was economy, but we have that now. It's called the UFC. Like we're going in gladiatorial combat with one another for people to watch, and people love it. And we even fake it, with like WWE and stuff like that. Like, we are an attention economy, and that was the fall of Rome, when we were no longer a robust builder society where we took care of everything and everybody, not financially, like, not just throwing money at people. We took care of everything. When your roads were working and stuff like that, everything starts to rot, and we as a society are rotting. And how do you fix that? You probably don't. So this is the slow fall of Rome, because we were an experiment, and that experiment worked until it doesn't work. And right now it's starting to not work. And
jigs up,
like Trump coming along is just kind of a symptom. There are plenty more people who are far more either radicalized, if you have that opinion, or far more in tune with what you think. Because not everybody thinks the same way. So there's a lot of different opinions that people have all over the place. And here's the thing: at the end of it, it's going to take, by the way, somebody like Elon. He's going to be the guy that brings everybody back together. Oddly enough, he's the guy.
Or Tucker.
Tucker is a marvel in himself, because he's so polarizing and so hated, and he's a piece of shit. But he's a genuine good guy.
Yeah, when I interviewed him, I had a great opportunity to talk with him for several minutes, and he's a fantastic guy.
And by the way, and let me tell you something: Fox News is a bunch of goddamn frauds when it comes down to it. Tucker Carlson is not who you think he is. Greg Gutfeld is a goddamn Vandals fan. Everywhere he goes, he's listening to the Vandals. Do y'all know who the Vandals are in punk rock? Fuck my life. Greg Gutfeld is the opposite of the Vandals, right? On TV. And he even says, like, listen, that's not who I am. That's what I do. Who I am is somebody a little bit different, but I'm a character on TV. And Sean Hannity's the same way. Sean Hannity's like, look, this is what I do. Mm-hmm. This is not always who I am. My beliefs are conservative, but and even he admitted, I think it was in an interview in 2020 or 2021, after Trump had lost and everything was kind of falling away. He just kind of had an interview where he said, look, I don't like everything that Donald Trump does. That would be silly. I'm not a yes man. There are things that I like and things that I don't like, but my job is to kind of push that narrative. That's my role. That's my place. So, I don't disagree with a lot of what he does. And I think that there's plenty of things that he does wrong, but generally speaking, he still represents a lot of my values. So, and the values of who I work for. So I'm still going to keep going with this. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
these guys are not who you think they
Mm.
are. And
I mean, I liked back in the. I mean, it's been several years since I've watched a whole lot of political commentary. Now I'll just try to read my articles and get in where I fit in some places. But he was one of those guys that I always liked. I liked his opinion. I did before Tucker got like really famous. Like I always like really liked his perspective, and it was that kind of like, oh, I don't get it. Like it was very kind of like it was kind of like a backhanded, condescending way to be like, you're a fucking idiot, but I'm gonna let you explain yourselves because you're gonna dig yourself a hole in a second here.
yeah, yeah. Well, and here's the weird thing, right? We're so polarized that we love Ukraine and we hate Russia. And there's plenty of reasons to hate both of them. And there's probably a few reasons to like both of them. Do you know what I mean? But we just polarized and we chose a side. Why do we choose a side? Look, not because we think Ukraine's good or Russia's bad. Not. We saw what happened in Crimea, and we know that Russia took Crimea, and they probably should not have done that. That would be fair to say. But here's the thing: if you're at the border of Ukraine, I watched a documentary on this a while back. If you're at the border of the Ukraine,
Mhm.
nobody speaks Ukrainian. If you're like, and what they say is if you're like 20, 30, 40 miles inside the border of Ukraine,
Uh-huh.
everybody still speaks Russian. They don't even understand Ukrainian language. It's not until you get to Kyiv, which is 170 miles in, where
Right.
you start to really see that Ukrainian. So if you were to all the places that Russia wanted to annex immediately, they all wanted to be part of Russia. They don't want to be part of the Ukraine. It's a very this is a very gray story. It's not a black and white story like everybody wants to make it out to be. And then because Donald Trump doesn't like Hunter Biden, because Hunter Biden likes chicks and drugs and film and everything, we don't like Ukraine. That's why. That's why we don't like Ukraine. I mean, back up and we all have to at least be honest and take a step back and say,
Just
why do we hate Ukraine or why do we love Russia?
why
We don't
can't we
do
just
either.
mind our business and fix our own fucking country? Can we just do that? Can we just start?
Here's the funny thing. If Donald Trump had become president again, we'd still be doing what we're doing. We'd still be helping Israel, and the people that support Donald Trump would be helping Israel and say, "Oh yeah, we had to do that because we moved we'd be making reasons up." And if we were supporting Ukraine, he would have done the same thing. We're not genuinely for or against all this stuff. We should be spending more time on ourselves. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: if we spent more time on ourselves, then we become a bubble. If we take some of this money that we're out here throwing around and we started spending it on ourselves, um, do you guys know how our U.S. government works? None of us would benefit from that. We'd all be screwed.
Yeah. Well,
It would go to the businesses. Like even if we wanted to help, it's my belief. It's my belief that we have an obligation morally to help those who are less fortunate. It's my belief that that is how society should be. But the government's forcing us to do it, and they shouldn't be doing it. Now, the reason the government's forcing us to do it is because we don't do it by ourselves. But here's the thing: we kind of do.
right.
We kind of do. The news tells us that we have a bigger problem than we actually have. We have a crisis at the border, but here's the thing. When you look at it and you put the data on a spreadsheet, Joe Biden is the most anti-immigration as far as enforcement, but he's also the guy who's having to contend with, and this is the funniest part of it. Barack Obama created a really good economy. Donald Trump put steroids into it and some human growth hormones and got this thing sizzling. Okay.
I was gonna grab my weights and start lifting, start
And
pumping up.
then and then COVID happened. And we overreacted in many different ways to what happened. And that really kind of collapsed the economy. But here's the thing: if you go back and you really if you put it on paper, we didn't collapse the economy. What we did was we gave everybody a bunch of money, and then when we gave everybody a bunch of money, all the companies said, "Hey, wait a minute, everybody's got a bunch of money," and then they raised the prices on everything. And if you don't believe me, go look. They just raised the prices on everything, and now these companies, remember, because we talk about this all the time, and we've been seeing it for the last 2 years. These markets that we keep saying, "Oh, they're getting ready to go down," bullshit. We're still minting record profits on companies that have no business continuing to do that.
So like
Why? Because they
stock market.
raised the price on everything, and there really wasn't a supply chain problem like everybody said. We were deceived and manipulated in that way.
Whew.
So now here we are, and Joe Biden, we Donald Trump created an economy that everybody wants to get away from their bullshit and come to. So they're just like that. Like the question is, why aren't they stopping in Mexico? Have you seen Mexico? Fuck that.
I'll be there in a few weeks.
Well, but I'm not stopping in Mexico. Like I'm not living there. Like
No.
there's a couple places that I want to go on vacation. But you mean I gotta? Oh, so you want me to leave the sand to go live in more sand? Fuck you. You know what I mean? And so people are coming straight here. Now, we could be doing a better job all the way down there about accepting more people and stuff like that, but they don't want those people to come through, you know? Like when we have these people that are fleeing horrible circumstances, they're fleeing horrible and they're trying to come up here, and Mexico's like, man, fuck it, go ahead. No problem.
Yeah.
They should be, we should be incentivizing them to stop it. That would be how we would, like that would be how we could help. But here's the thing. Now they're all coming here, and guess what? Trump didn't build a wall like he said. We got 27 miles of wall. And most of the wall was stuff that Barack Obama had actually already built because he was more centrist than we believed. So now what do we have? We just got people flooding into the country. And are they just getting IDs, and are they just like voting? No, they're not really. But we do give people amnesty, right? So there are some people, and there are problems.
Well, so now some states, and maybe that's just bullshit media attention on stuff. And I want to move on to the Craig Wright thing in a second here. But there is some places that are giving more resources than others.
Yeah.
And it is causing some issues, and we know that.
And always have. And now people like New York, if you're in New York, by the way, because you've been talking mad shit about Texas for a long time, about like, oh, well, you got to be nicer to people when they're coming across the border. Well, they're all in New York now. So what are you saying? What are you telling me, huh? They're in Chicago now. And guess what? The system is breaking down because it was okay when it was somebody else's problem. Yeah. When you bring the problem to these other areas, then guess what? Now it's a bigger problem. So, hopefully that wakes up a society that's been asleep about immigration. And look, stop listening to the goddamn kids that are on campuses protesting, because nobody gives a shit what they have to say, except the people that are in the media that went there, that got the same education and like, oh yeah, it's really bad out here. No, it's not. Shut the fuck up and stop doing this. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're dealing with.
That is
By the way, when I say that, I am also as liberal as it gets. I'm as liberal as it gets. I believe. I don't care what you want to suck. I don't care what you want to do. I don't care. I do care that if you're under 24 years old, you probably shouldn't be able to change what you do or who you are fundamentally. I think there should be at least a, hey, wait just a second, because these are the same goddamn kids that'll take an Oreo over a dollar bill because they're hungry. You know what I mean?
Like same ones that would eat a fucking Tide Pod. Come on.
Right. Like there are certain circumstances in which we need to kind of look at. So, I think, and by the way, when I say liberal, I mean like more of a classic liberal, like in the fact that you have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You have these freedoms that are granted to you by the Constitution. So maybe libertarian is probably the more leaning principle, but that used to mean that you were a kind of a classic neoliberal. So, I want low taxes. I want the government to stay away from me. I want to be able to do whatever I want to be able to do. So everybody has nobody's one or the other. But
I would say I would say probably a fiscal conservative and a social liberal, right?
God damn, Joe Rogan, stop it.
Hey, we got you. All right,
but that's it. That's really it, and that's what most of us are when we're in the middle.
100%.
And the cool thing is, by the way, in closing this out, I think that Joe Biden is the same thing. I think that he's kind of the same way, and I think that he's getting tired of this left-wing lunacy. And I think that we're going to see a change in the Democratic Party as we move forward. And we're going to see a change in the Republican Party as we move forward. And I think everybody's just going to kind of start to merge back to the middle where we all belong. but crazy shit that's been happening in the world has divided us. Not Donald Trump, not that, not that stuff. It's everything else that's been happening around the world. That's what's doing it, and it'll fix itself pretty soon.
At some point, it's an election year. That's what'll happen. It'll all go away next January. All right, moving on. Let's talk some crypto. If you've been in the space for a while, you have got a disdain for this guy right here, Craig Wright. And when I was looking at headlines, getting ready for today, I saw the quote is what captured me to this article so much. I love it so much. And here we go. I appreciate you've ridden a hobby horse for the past few minutes, but I put it to you that it was not an answer to my question. That's an answer that Craig Wright was received from the Copa lawyers in his stupid ongoing case of him trying to pretend and lie to be Satoshi, trying to keep bringing in inadmissible evidence into court. I mean, this guy is a freaking bozo. I understand that it's like $1 billion jackpot, and if you were a fucking delusional lunatic, you would try anything you could to get the $1 billion. But what?
Here's the wildest part. The wildest part to this is, hey, Craig Wright, if you're actually Satoshi, we know Satoshi's wallet. Go to the wallet and send 3 Bitcoin right now.
This for wallet. Years. He said that's the thing. That's the argument is whoever Satoshi, if you want to prove who you are, do it. You can't claim to be it and not move the fucking coins. That's ridiculous.
Yep. He keeps making this claim, yet anytime somebody's asked, like, well, then just go to your wallet and transfer exactly what we say, and then boom, problem solved. We all believe you from that point on. And he's like, nah, bro. You might be one of those aliens, with the skin, and you're actually a lizard or something. Whatever crazy shit this guy keeps coming up with.
There are lizards.
And I read that transcript. Holy shit, he's out of his mind.
Oh, I mean, the guy's an absolute lunatic. And again, if you've been in the space for a while, him and his compadres. You got Calvin Ayre, who is just an absolute piece of trash. That was one of my badges of honor from being in early, as I got the block from Calvin. That was after the Caribbean photo shoot incident. If you're OGs in the space, you remember the Caribbean photo shoot. Or maybe it wasn't Caribbean. Maybe it was like South America or something. I don't know. Either way, dude's a trash bag. They're all idiots. So hopefully with this case, whether it's the judge or the jury or however it's all being heard, the fact that he keeps trying to do this in response to forgeries, like I would assume at some point they'll be like, all right, get this guy out of my courtroom. This guy is a liar and a potential wannabe thief.
Yep.
Freaking remove him. You like Craig Wright?
Oh, fuck that guy. Dude's out of his mind. Like it's just like I said, like I know the guy is lying about everything. I know that he's one of those people that just can't. He's like the politician. He's like that guy that you're starting to nail Jello to a wall. You know what I mean? Like he can never give you a straight answer. Yeah, he can never give you a straight answer. He's always like, oh no.
He's gonna try. He's gonna do the confusion circle. So he's gonna you're gonna be talking about Jello, and the next thing you know, you're gonna be talking about something else. And the whole point is just to circle you back around and confuse you.
Yep. And that's it. And I mean, again, that's debate 101.
Would you call him a master debater then?
Yes. He has a great master debation technique.
There was another article that had came out, and we'll get to some charts. You want to just get to some charts?
Let's do it. Let's
I want to see if there's any. Let's just. Whoa! How is that not on dark mode? Let's see. Any losers at the moment? Man, wow. It's a good day when the biggest loser is 1.2% down.
Yeah.
7 day. Jupiter 20% on the week. Anything at the moment? Man. Woo.
Caspa is having a breakout right now.
Is it?
RLC is having a breakout. And by the way, RLC would be one that I would say, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Elon pull that one into into the Everything app and use that one because they've continued to upgrade their network. Conflux, which I've been big fan of Conflux because
Needed
that's
that.
that Chinese open source blockchain. That thing is going to just be a monster at some point.
Hey, you guys are in the chat. By the way, make sure you guys smash the like button. I appreciate you doing that. Should have probably said that a little bit ago. I'll get better. I'm still like getting my feet wet on all this shit. But Davenport report XRP moved 0.01.
Oh shit.
Oh, maybe we're not a stable coin anymore, baby.
Oh, you know, it rejected right off of the line. Dude, you can't even make this shit up.
You can't make it up, dude. It's like it doesn't breathe. Like it literally, like you'll see like a candle go up a little bit and then just suffocated right out.
Here, look at this.
I'll bring you up.
It literally rejected off a line I drew 6 months ago.
That's funny.
Like of all little things, this is like a 5-minute chart here, but you know,
now, to be perfectly fair, if you look at the monthly, and I unfortunately started doing a lot of my line drawing and everything on the perpetual futures, and it didn't go back as long. And so if you go back to the spot, you know, on the monthly, there is, I would say, a strong case that we could probably, if we are gonna go down and touch our support level one more time before the rocket ship launches, that would put us at like right now 42 cents. Like the mid 42 cents, and then obviously as time goes on, that number goes up with the trend line or whatever. But what do you think? Do you think we're going to see another touch of the trend line on the monthly?
So I think this is coiling up for an explosion, and I don't think that it's ready for breakout because where's the catalyst, right? You know, I mean, broader crypto market doesn't have a catalyst right now. So what I would suspect is that we're going to see, you know, this thing come back down again, and probably, you know, maybe you get lucky and it's 45, 44, somewhere around this range before you get a breakout. And you could see a longer sort of play out here because I think this just takes me into like mid-February. Right. So it could be that we're looking at a much longer play. But you know what? Here's the thing. At the end of this, for those of you who are in here and you already changed your life, for those of you that are holding on to a big bag, this is only going to get more exponential. If you got $1 million, you're going to have 2 million. You're going to have 3 million. You're going to have 4 million. You've already made it. Like you're already there. All you have to do is just have a little bit more patience. Wait for that market to start really, really going crazy. However, if you're looking for, you know, if you're looking because everybody's talking about it, this is your life-changing moment. This is this is where everything is going to play out. The money's already been made here. You know, like you're not going to get. You're not going to invest $500 and you get rich on XRP. There's still they're going to keep releasing new supply. We're not done yet. 100% isn't in circulation yet, right?
I don't believe so.
So I think they still got plenty that are held back. Craig Larson, or was it Chris Larson, just got hacked.
About like less than half, 54 out of the 100. Right.
So there's a lot of there's still a lot of downside to go with the potential upside for XRP. So where's the market cap right now? 27 million. Is it 27 billion right now?
27.8, almost 28 billion.
Yeah. So 28 billion, which is about 10% of XRP. You assume that if this replaces kind of XRP, Ethereum is going to go. It's going to keep sending, right? So if you come up 10x is not life changing. It's 500 to 5,000. The life-changing money is not here. If you go to a $1 trillion market cap from here, that's what, 40x. So that's still not life-changing. You know what I mean? Like there's a limit to what you can do at this point with XRP. But that said, matter of fact, Jesus Christ, I said this today. If I'm rich and I want to make my super gains, there's really only about 4 tokens that if I'm rich, I want to mess with. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and maybe Solana. You know, like other than that, I don't really want to touch too much. Right. So XRP is that one. That's that one that's gonna, out of all those, probably have the biggest run. But
it's got the most potential. It's got the most potential, right? Because we know what its future entails, right? Whereas, Bitcoin, again, like, that's the biggest argument that all of us have with most people. It's like, listen, if you're not already wealthy, don't don't allocate too much of your portfolio to Bitcoin. It just doesn't make sense at this point. Like even if it, whatever, like the Mooch, right? What Mooch says, if we're going to be times 4 where we are at the halvening for the peak. Okay, so we're either going to be in the 30s or we're going to be around 50. So 120 to 200,000 is the highest we'll see that.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
nothing.
There's only so far you can go.
Yeah, that's nothing. I mean, we're most of us are on the lookout for the next 100 or 1,000x. Like, I'm not looking for 3 or a 5x. Like, that's not it.
Yep. And again, I mean, even if XRP, and look, it could be because you're talking about transacting fiat across the world, and you're talking about converting it to crypto across the world. You're talking about a new world order, if you will. See how I dropped that in?
I did.
You really are talking about a new paradigm in the way that you transact money. So if that's the case, this is a $1 trillion company, potentially a $1 trillion company. So there's a lot of room for upside for XRP, but 27 billion means that a lot of the money's already made. Yeah. So this is the rich guy stuff at this point. We're looking for something a little bit lower. So expect a breakout and expect it to test 94 cents. That's the next big move on that breakout, is coming back in to test that. And then you're going to get into this right here, which is somewhere around $1. The dollar is going to be the fight. That's going to be the big fight. And then $1.96, about $2 up here. So that's 4x from where we are right now. That's where you are. That's what it has in the last big market, right? And it should have been more, but you had the problems with the SEC. Can you get back that quote unquote street cred? Well, yeah, you can. And that's going to be way up here around $10 at XRP. I just don't see $10 or $20 for XRP is probably going to be the spot. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't see there's any way that if you're $1 trillion, you can't get 2 trillion. You know what I mean? Just not enough. Just not enough money out there for that. But $1 trillion could be.
And I love that idea. And I think a lot of people are really excited about that. I just, I am one of those people where I've been holding on to this bag for a little bit, but how long do you stay stagnant? Like, I've got an idea of what I want to accomplish in this market, right? And it doesn't include just sitting and waiting. So, well, everybody's time. I'm not saying I'm hopping out yet, but the more that you talk about that, the more that we look at, and even if it was as simple as just tether off the spot position and wait for it to come down and retest, the support level, and then buy back in with a little bit more buying power. I mean, even if it's just as simple as that, like maybe that's the move.
That would be a great play. I mean, that look, think about how people made out who, imagine that you were over here when this really the spot where my arrow is right here. This is when Luna failed, right? Yep. This is what brought a lot of this stuff down at that time, right? So if you consider that this was trading around, I mean, we didn't think this stuff was going that low, right? We were waiting to see if maybe this was different this time, right? And then Luna fails and Terra collapses at the same time. And now here we are at 28 cents or something like that. Look, if you scooped up and you actually bought the bottom over here, what are you complaining about? You're up 2 or 3x at this point. That's not great. That's not what anybody wants to see.
And hey, if you're a stonks trader, man, you are like probably taking your wife out for a
right
dinner.
If you're Bitcoin, you're up maybe about 3. You're up at about the same level. Like you're on Bitcoin's level. So shut up already. And if you made that move up here and you sold at that 90 cents, you're up 4 or 5x. I mean, come on. Like you did what you were supposed to do on this. Now your responsibility was sell that shit up at 90 cents and then accumulate again at 40 or 50 cents. I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you did what you're supposed to do with good trading and followed the trends and all of that goes in with it. If you did that, then ta-da, you scored.
The trend is your friend, ladies and gentlemen. What other charts are you looking at these days?
I am I'm kind of watching fascinatingly at Miro because I keep talking to Ben about, I'm like, hey man,
really big shit, isn't it?
Do what? Yeah, yeah. It really that was the thing with Binance. So I'm watching it because I'm watching it with Solana and all of these other ones. Like with Hat is up 18% on the day. I guess a 1 hour chart would make it look at this.
Oh, wow.
Dog with Hat had a nice breakout of 18-19% right now.
Still on a downtrend though. Like, what do you think about these things? Like, I mean, how long is that's the hourly? I can't see that.
Yeah, that's the hourly. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, that's a gigantic breakout. I mean, just in
That's,
the last, what are we at in the 2 hour?
that's a nice.
In 2 hours so far, we're up 24% in that 2 hour window.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Really?
yeah, it's an absolute breakout off of this little dump right here. But Bitcoin, Bitcoin having a nice little breakout. Again, if it closes above this 41.1, if it closes in this range, the rally's back on. Like for whatever's going on. And I haven't talked to, I haven't, I haven't seen anything from Ellie today. I haven't seen anything from Eric Balkunas or James Seyfert, any of these guys. And I haven't talked to Ellie, so I have no idea what's really going on. But something out here is happening that's causing some people to be like, you know what? Now it's about time. We're up 30 billion, $40 billion on the day. So Ethereum is having that breakout because it's almost time. Den Kun's getting here. It's almost time. By the way, sell before Den Kun.
Sell your ETH.
Hell yeah. Like Jesus Christ. Don't hold on to that. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the order for the day until it isn't. And if you miss on Ethereum, just be happy to know it's only gonna 2x or so before it retraces quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna go. If you miss, you're not gonna. If it's $2,400 for Ethereum, and if it's going to 10,000 by projection, you missed 1.4x. Quit your bitching and find something that's gonna rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've got Luna Classic out here. I've got Avic Pay because that crypto, Roger Tremino, he's doing this thing with Roatan, and he's in El Salvador right now celebrating with Bukele for what they're doing. And then I've got Luna Classic and USTC. It just kind of, I do content on those, and I'm waiting to see. Like, it's one of the most fascinating. One day we're going to be writing stories about this whole Luna Classic thing once we get all the details. But to me, it's just fascinating. I'm looking at this thing. This is coiled up to break out. Like this shit is ready to explode. You know what I mean?
Luna
Like
Classic.
look at that. That's Luna Classic. And USTC, like they're ready for just an absolute unbelievable run. I got a security token here in Advantis, Volt, which is old thing that I've been into for a while. Avalanche, we got Cardano, Leash, Shib, Bone. Bone's having a nice run today. Look at this breakout that it's having finally for a lot of people. Doge, I'm still waiting to see like 15 cents on Doge, but look at this. Doge broke above that there was a long-term kind of trend line here that it breaks out of every once in a while and then it just falls back into. So it just broke out of it again. If it breaks out and confirms, then Doge might be heading way up. We might get something from Elon,
Maybe the insiders know something.
Yeah. Arbitrum is a little bit on the move today. Atom, I mean, the whole Cosmos ecosystem at some point will just absolutely erupt. Optimism
I want to. We got on the morning show, Carrie, one of my guys was telling me about, let me go to the Cosmos ecosystem, because he was telling me about this one project, and I have got to talk about this because it looked like it was a juicy man, I don't know. Here we go. Cosmos ecosystem in the categories. He's said to be looking at Stride. Take a look. That thing has done 86% in the last week. It's down 4.3 today, so a little bit of a retracement. But that is something to take a look at from the Cosmos ecosystem.
It's on Osmosis right now.
Okay. That's the only place you can get it is Osmosis. So he was just telling me about this morning. He was deep diving all weekend in Cosmos, and so
look at this thing.
Yeah, things ripping.
That is a massive sort of move.
Yeah.
Whew. But anyway, so that system, between the one thing that people are sleeping on mostly when it comes to the Cosmos ecosystem is Optimism. Great project, of course. But crypto.com at some point, it's still crypto.com.
Yep.
Like that thing is going to absolutely sail. And because it's crypto.com, because it represents this new sort of ecosystem, because it's part of this whole Atom universe, because of all that, like man, this whole thing is just gonna blow up at some point. You know, that's one of those new paradigms.
I have a crypto.com wallet, the crypto.com DeFi wallet from like years ago.
Yeah.
That I have absolutely no idea how to get into at the moment. I know that I've got my seed phrase written down somewhere. But that is one of those. We all got those graveyard wallets, and
Yeah.
then we just, how the hell do I get into this thing? Some point, I'll figure out how to do that. But hey man, this has been fun. I appreciate you popping on with me today. This was a great conversation. Let's do this more often.
Absolutely. And also, by the way, for those of you that were, and I know you got fans out here, Caspa just broke out.
Oh,
by the way. So Caspa broke out of its trend line. So, you know, if this confirms, then you are looking at some price exploration, at least up to 15 cents again. By the way, I told Ellie, get the fuck out at like 11 cents or something like that. And then like an asshole, it just kept ripping up to 15. And then it like just retested like 9.5 cents. And I'm like, wow. Like, I mean, you still would have made, but I mean, like, I was like, yeah, this can't right here. I was like, this can't keep going. Like, it just can't keep going. Right. And it kept going.
Kept going.
Shit kept going. But yeah, I mean, this thing is absolutely ripping and breaking out. So, you know, maybe, just maybe it's time for Caspa. And I added that to my portfolio. So, you know, shout out to Caspa. Keep it going.
Keep it going, baby. All right, guys. That's going to do it for today. Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow morning, obviously 9 a.m. Eastern is Web3 breakfast. Make sure you guys tune in. I don't know if we've got a guest planned tomorrow. At some point, I got to check my Calendly, but we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for more of this JChains Crypto Show. So have yourself a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, Bleeves. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me.